Hey, what is up, guys? This is Ryan from elevatecyber, back with another technical security video for you guys. In this one, I'll be showing you one of the most nifty little tricks that you can do in Linux that will absolutely improve your workflow, and you can really get creative with this and use it as you wish, pretty much. And so this one, I wish I would have known this earlier in my pen testing career, shall we say. Most definitely. So let's just get right into it. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to use aliases in Bash, and they can really help streamline your workflow. So what is an alias, first of all? Well, if we think outside of the IT space, right, the term alias is normally, another way to refer to something, right? It's another name, a shorthand, usually, like a shorthand name for something. So in a similar way, when it comes to Bash, we can actually create commands that are shorthands for other things, right? Here's one very common example that you might already be familiar with, but the ls-la command, right? So it gives you a number of pieces of data, right? The ownership, who owns the file, what are the permissions, timestamp, all that stuff. Well, you can also use the shorthand ll. And that will do an ls-la, and that's just a shorthand for doing it. And that is an example of an alias. But you can also customize your aliases. So you can create an alias to automatically run any command you want. You can create a shorthand for anything you want to create, right? So this is where a lot of creativity comes into play. You can think about, if you think about like the most common tasks you might do when you fire up your terminal. Let's take the example of Hack the Box, right? Every time you go on Hack the Box, or maybe you can do this with your OSCP as well. I mean, you certainly can, but just to throw some ideas out there, a little example for you guys in this demo. Say you want to create an alias that will automatically connect you to the Hack the Box network. That is something you can absolutely do with an alias, right? Because typically, when you connect to the Hack the Box network, you'll have to do you'll have to go ahead and run an open VPN, and then wherever you store your VPN file for Hack the Box, right? Oh, right. I'm actually in OptVPN, so I forgot where I was located for a second there. But that would be the command that I would need to run every time to connect to the Hack the Box network. Now I can automate this by creating an alias, right? Because this might not seem like much, but if I have to do this every single time, it could get a little tedious. Well, what if I wanted to just be able to type like 3 characters and run this? Well, I can absolutely do that. So, for example, I can create an alias where I just run HTB and it automatically connects, and it doesn't matter where I'm located, like what directory I'm in or anything like that. Now, to do something like that, I'm going to want to go and edit my bash RC file. Now, the reason it's my bash RC is because if I echo the shell, it'll tell me what shell I'm currently using. I'm using bin bash. So if you guys are maybe using Z shell or something like that, you're going to need to edit the, I think for Z shell, it's the ZSHRC file, or I can't remember. It's something like that. But basically, it's in your home directory. So right now I'm logged into the root account, right? So I want this alias to apply to my root account because when you connect to the Hack the Box network, you need to do that with elevated privileges, I do believe. And so if I look at, well, if I go into /root and I do ls-la, and looks like things are kind of hanging here. That is weird. My machine is like a little bit screwed up. This VM, I might need to reset it or something. That took forever. I think part of the reason is this share. I'll remove it later. A network share that I created from another exercise. But the reason you want to run -LA is so that you can see hidden files. Hidden files in Linux start with a dot. And so there's one that's of particular interest, the bash RC file. Basically, everything that you put in this file will apply to, it's kind of like your profile for your account, basically. And so here's where you can do all the customization. You can have your own color scheme for different items, you know. You can have like all your preferences for your profile preferences, basically is the way to think of Bash RC. And but for us, you know, there's a lot of stuff you can do to customize stuff here, but what we're concerned with is the aliases. And you see here, there's even more aliases that are commented out. I could uncomment them, and that would enable them, right? But if you see here, I did this exact same thing with TryHackMe for the TryHackMe OpenVPN file. So basically, that's all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, let's create an alias and whatever I want the alias to be. In this case, HTB, and then I just say what command that I want it to be a shorthand for. So OpenVPN, optvpn, in my case, right? HTB OVPN. Now, of course, this is going to depend where do you have your VPN file located, right? And so you just run OpenVPN against that OpenVPN file, and I'm going to create the shorthand. Now, once I put this here, I'm going to save the file, and once I do that, it's not going to apply, right? I try to run it, it still doesn't work. Now, why is that? Well, it doesn't. Your shell that you're currently running does not know that your bash RC file was updated. So one way to do it is to restart your machine or do all that. But there's a quicker way, and that is to use source. And so we just run source on root bash RC. Then that will automatically update things in our shell. So now when I run HTTP, we see that it automatically connects to the network. Pretty sick, right? Well, if you start thinking about other use cases for this, you can get really creative here. You could even use it to automate some of your recon or something, perhaps, right? Like, for example, you could create, and let me give you guys something creative to play around with, and obviously you guys can, I'm sure, come up with some really neat ideas, and let me know down in the comment section below if you do. But you could create something like, I don't know, like recon or something like that, right? Where basically you run nmap with whatever flags you typically prefer. And then you could actually have it take in, let's actually do double quotes so it's not a raw string. We can have it take in parameters like, for example, IP and box name, right? And so we could have something like this, for example, and what that would do is you supply a box name variable. So let's say box name, let's say I'm working on lame, like the lame box and hack the box, right? So I would set my box name, and then I would set my IP address. I'll just use the loopback for now. I would put in the IP of the box I'm working on. Then I would just run recon. And, well, I got to source the file, right? But then I run recon, and it automatically starts the scan on that, right? And it'll save it in my directory. And I don't know why my ls command is taking forever in my /root directory. But that's just basically one way that you can even expand on this whole idea here. See, it created this nmap file here. Of course, in this case, no ports were open, but you get the idea, right? So there's a lot of potential for just automating things that you normally have to type a bunch. You know, if there's a directory you need to get into and it's a super long directory, you ever been in that situation? Well, you can create an alias to instantly CD to that directory. So pretty much the possibilities are endless with this one. If you want to learn more about Linux, if this interested you, check out my Linux series over, always point the wrong way, over here. Yeah, I'll see you right there. And also, Another thing I would say is that if you just want to learn more in general about different commands that you can run, getting better with your pen testing skills, go ahead and check out my pen tester notes down in the description below. Hit the subscribe if you haven't as well, and the like button to help get this message out there. But yeah, those notes you'll find absolutely free, a culmination of 5 years in the field, and I will see you guys right over in this video right here.